This morning, it being Mother's Day, we saved that time, this and another Sunday in the year, to acknowledge the arrival of new life. I always start this ceremony with something that comes out of the African Maasai tradition that says, "Hail the day on which a child is born. Rejoice, let us all sing. And praise she who gave birth to a child for whom she longed. Our hearts were glad." At this point, I would like to invite those who have brought their children for dedication to join me up here on the dais. And if you have godly parent, sponsor, friend, folks that you wanted to have join you, you come on up with them. Come on. I know I have at least 2 babies and assorted family attached. Come on up here. There you go. Why don't you all stand over there? Oh, it's not so bad, really. I already scared 2 children today. A familiar passage in Khalil Gibran's work says, "Your children are not your children." You can get a little closer here. Come on. Tell you what, get a little closer to this bowl of moisture there. Khalil Gibran, right? You're going to get to see that really soon. He couldn't take me. I scared him to death earlier, but he wants to dive into the puddle. Excellent, excellent. Your children are not your children, writes Khalil Gibran. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. Yet it is into your lives, moms and dads, that these children come. So what you do is not just for you or even for them, but for a future that you will never see. You, parents, hi guys, how you doing? You are here because you know how daunting the task of parenting is, especially when you have it will take the best of you and then some. That's why you are here, to find the support, guidance, and companionship necessary for this really awesome task. We are honored that you chose this church to share in that work with you. As you entered into parenthood, knowing its importance, we are going to ask you to affirm before this assembly here that you will do your best to rear them up in the ways of faith, hope, love, and joy. Will you nurture and care for them, provide for them and protect them, guide and empower them so they will do justly, love kindness, and walk humbly with their God? Please answer, we will. Great. To godparents, if you're out there, we know that you're on the team and they're wonderful. I want you to be tenacious in your affection, not only for the children, but for their parents. They're going to require your partisan assistance. But you, the rest of you, all of you out there who don't know them yet, or at least don't know all of them, your extended family now, your friends, you're part of their spiritual community. Will you welcome them into your lives and into the life of this congregation? Will you be a living example, living lives of faith, hope, love, and joy? Will you welcome them as fellow pilgrims on the path of faith? Also, that they may learn to do justice by watching it being done, to love kindness by seeing kindness in action, and to walk humbly with each other as you do. If you are willing to do this for them, would you please say, we will? You got a good team working for you. That's excellent. So now let's get to the important part. Now, I talked to Jacob earlier, and I think he's not going to want to visit with me personally. But tell you what, Dad, why don't you come around to the other side? We said hi, and it wasn't our best moment. But you have to be respectful. This is Jacob Henry Schrock, who wants to dive all the way into the bowl. But it's really symbolic. Jacob Henry, tell you what, let's reach down. Would you touch the water? Ooh, it's warm. Well, that's the point. The warm water is just like the bath you're going to take later today. I'm just betting, huh? But when I touch you with water, it's like the sea from which life comes and the blood that runs through our veins. May you come to know that you're part of the river of life, to rejoice in its wonder. It's like the sweat on the brow of the children of Israel who toiled in bondage, because there will be days that are hard work. And it's like the tears that Mary shed for her son, and there will be tough times in your life. But together, we can bear them all, because by this water, we are bound together. May you grow in power and grace and fill the world with your spirit. I consecrate you to the service of righteousness, truth, and love. Tell you what, why don't we bring this young lady over here, and you can just take one step in that direction. Hi, Miss Zoe. How are you? Are you ready? You want to touch the water? Let's touch it. Go ahead. Just water. See your finger in the water. Oh, it's warm, isn't it? here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this water right on your hair and on your cheek. Is it warm? When I do that, yes, it is. And it's wet. And I'm touching you with this salt water, which is like the sea from which life comes and the blood which runs through our veins. May you come to know that you're a part of the river of life and rejoice in its wonder. It's also like the sweat on the brow of the children of Israel who toiled in bondage. So you have to remember there will be tough times and we have to help each other. And it's like the tears that Mary shed for her son. There will be tough times, but you will have friends to help you through them. By this water, you and I are bound together with these people around us. May you grow in power and grace to fill the world with your spirit. I consecrate you to the service of righteousness, truth, and love. May we pause for a moment of gratitude and prayer. Ancient of days, every day a baby arrives in our lives, we are reminded that we have something worth living for, even if we don't know what it is. There is something out there worth striving to save the world, make it good, whether it be for Jacob or Zoe or our own children or our own grandchildren. We can still wonder about the future no matter what our age. And we are grateful for the gift of wonder, for the gift of hope, no matter how we get it. Amen. May their souls be numbered among the living and their names be heard among the congregation. Beloved, I give you Jacob Henry Schrock. And Zoe, do we have another name? Zoe Rose Kapolka. I have a certificate for both of you, but I'll give it to you later. Friends, welcome the newest members of our congregation. Thank you so much. We're all done. Is that not the coolest piece of music? Of course, I remember the Latin, which is what I was taught, and sic erat in principio et nunc et saecula saeculorum, is as it was in the beginning, is now, and evermore shall be, which is what we seek in life, the things that are true across time and experience. Isn't that the tension always between the durable, which we can hang on to, and the novel, which thrills us and creates and moves us forward? That's a lovely tension, but it does mean tension. Of all the Sundays of the year where I feel the tension of the old and the new and of the inadequacies of the preacher, Mother's Day is the worst day for us male preachers. No male can speak of motherhood with any kind of authority. But no preacher can fail to speak of it without incurring the wrath of mothers around the globe. Ours is a questioning faith, but to question Mother's Day, well, yeah, your laughter again tells the truth. But ours is a questioning faith, so to fail to question something would be hypocritical. It is said that Odysseus, trying to find his way home, had to steer his boat between what is called Scylla and Charybdis, meaning a whirlpool that would suck them into the ground, into the depths, or beside a monster that would eat all the sailors. There is no hope. He succeeded, but he alone survived, clinging to a fig tree, hanging over a cliff. I pray that the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be found true in your sight and in thy sight, who is my rock and my redeemer, because I hope to survive with more than a fig tree or a fig leaf in hand. Today is the 99th official Mother's Day in America. 99. You see, it was in 1914 that Congress created it. I think that was the last time they created anything durable. This came after an arduous but short campaign by essentially one person, Anna Jarvis, who, following her own mother's death in 1905, believed that mothers everywhere were ill-appreciated for their many gifts and services, and resolved to create a national day of honor for mothers throughout the land. Though, because she herself never married and never had children, Anna could devote her entire effort to this project, which fell on deaf ears for several years until good fortune, grace, the will of God, or a capricious devil brought her campaign to the ear and eye of John Wanamaker. Some of you out there remember a department store named Wanamaker's Department Store. That's the guy in Philadelphia. And once he signed up for the campaign, it took off quite earnestly, and in a few short years had rounded up a number of other supporters and petitioners, and that's when the Congress, bowing to the will of the people, a rare moment when they bowed to the will of the people, created Mother's Day, an occasion to be observed on the second Sunday in May. They didn't specify how it was to be observed, but by custom immemorial, meaning before anyone knows exactly when it started, it involved carnations, often red and white. And originally it involved appreciating one's mother in two ways: in a church service like this, and in writing a letter or having a face-to-face conversation with this woman who brought you into the world. Of course, all that remains of Anna Jarvis's original notion is the mandatory service in church, which I carry, and the carnations. We've supplemented a bit by going out to supper. It's the day of the year when most restaurant reservations are made. It's also a boon to the greeting card industry. How many of you found yourself in a Schuler's or a Hallmark or wherever it is saying, I better find something before Sunday? And it was that change from the heartfelt, homespun Mother's Day to the buy a card, get the candy, send the flowers, go to a restaurant that eventually changed Anna Jarvis's mind. This is the story you don't hear. At some point, Anna Jarvis realized Mother's Day had become a commercial enterprise. And she wrote a maudlin, insincere printed card means nothing except that you're too lazy to write the woman who has done more for you than anyone else in the world. Do you feel adequately scolded? As Mother's Day grew ever more commercial, she grew even more angry and disappointed in writing later about the florists, greeting card manufacturers, and candy makers, calling them, listen to this, you'll love this, charlatans, bandits, pirates, racketeers, kidnappers, and termites that undermine with their greed the finest, noblest, and truest movements and celebrations. By the 1930s, she was going door to door with a petition to rescind Mother's Day. She died in penury, unable to buy the plot in which she is buried. The floral industry picked up the tab. Rather ironic, isn't it, when you think about it? And Mother's Day has nothing ironic about it by its nature. It's supposed to be sentimental and straightforward. But of course, it's the irony that I find intriguing. As I explored it deeper, it seemed clear to me that two aspects of America literally were knotted together in 1914. One, the Anna Jarvis idea of America, the honor due to one's mother. The other was the opportunity to make money. In promoting the first, Jarvis cultivated those who sought the second. It was only when she got John Wanamaker, commerce embodied, that she was successful in getting the holiday established. John Wanamaker worked very hard, in fact, and he believed in it. He enrolled one of his buddies, H.J. Heinz of the Ketchup. And when Anna Jarvis, on the first occasion she memorialized her mother in 1908, sent 500 white carnations to the church service, the floral industry was only too eager to help her out when the petitions began.